So, well, not so much during, but afterwards, I would write down,
Okay.
how much I got off the right, how much I got off the left in each position, and then just try and make
Okay.
it a percentage. So each time I
Mm.
go kick and I try to hit, a high percentage and make sure that I either keep that consistent, and if not, I need to try and fix my technique and see, why would it be dropping, or what's the reason for it. And if I happen to hit one wrong, I always assess it, if that makes sense, on the spot,
Yeah.
when I'm in
Yeah, I know
practice,
what you're saying.
and then reset for the next one, and then I come off the field and write that down. It just literally notes in my phone, that's all. And it's only something
Okay.
that I started practicing really properly last lockdown, because I had listened to Kieran Donaghy,
Yeah.
from Kerry, and he said it's something that he always did, and kind of got used to and fell into a habit. And even now I find you're making a mental note of it,
Mm.
even without being
Definitely.
like consciously writing it down. So
Mm.
I'd always be able to come back to it. If I came home and had forgotten to write it down, I'd be able to throw it into the notes, because I would have kept a mental note of it. Whereas before, you might
Okay.
go kicking to the pitch and you just do it so passively, and there's no kind of real purpose. Whereas
Yeah.
if you have a goal and you have a target, you're always going to try and improve on that.
Definitely. Yeah, no, I really like that. I'm gonna rob that from you and from Kieran. And whereabouts where like in terms of your freeze and probably kicking that sort of game situation, whereabouts are you practicing? Is that kind of outside the 21, or where would you kind of practice the kicks from?
Always start with 100% kick. So start in the center, start
Okay.
close to the goal, somewhere that you're going to start off with, because everything is very much mental as much as it is physical. So if you start
Absolutely.
off on
Mm.
100%, and I would always say to finish up on 100% too. So start off on
Okay.
100%, somewhere just past it, maybe the 21, center the goal,
Mm.
right foot, left foot, whatever your dominant foot is.
Mm.
Then bring it out across that line, and then kind of go around the D on one foot, go around the D on the other
Yeah.
foot, kicking from 5 points, so two each side, one at the center point, two each side, the other side, and then see what you get out of five on each side,
Mm.
and then finish up with a 100% kick on each foot at the end. And at the minute,
Okay.
there's absolutely no point in trying to kick the impossible. So, you
Yeah.
know, where you should be practicing is where most of the frees are, and they lie within around the D and the 21.
Yeah.
There will be time for those massive kicks, but I mean, we're not warmed up for it. We're not training for it at the minute, so there's
Yeah.
no point. Control the 100% ones that you're going to get. The rest of
Yeah.
them, you can put time into them again when we know what the kind of time frame is for coming back.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned it there that because free taking it's like an individual game within a team game. How do you keep focus mentally when you let's say when the whistle blows for the free, if you know you're going to take it, take us through that sort of top process and routine that you have.
I would always, well, when the whistle goes, you're like, depending on where you are, if you're far away from the ball, you're like, oh, I have to get all the way up here now. But no, because I'd kick the frees at club all the time.
Yeah.
And no, what I do is straight away, I'll say I've kicked this before. That's the first thing
Yeah.
that I say in my head. And then I go up and I set myself up, take as much time as I need. And what I always kind of bring myself back to is do it the way you've always done it, and do not
Yeah.
change. Just because it
Mm.
might be slightly different to where you might have kicked it, keep all your basic principles for kicking a sure kick the same. Don't
Yeah.
change anything. Take the same routine that you always do. That's completely individualized. Um,
Mm.
I always look at the goal, picture where I want to hit behind the post, and then kind of I imagine a line between that and the ball in my head.
Okay. Yeah.
So I feel like it's the ball will be drawn to it then when I hit it. I know it's mad, but that's the thought
No, no,
process.
yeah.
And
No, I
then
like that.
I would usually set myself up, and then just when I'm good and ready and I've taken my breaths, I line up for the shot. And yeah, it's again like anything, like we were talking about earlier, breaking onto a team, anything, it's practice and follow the process. And
Yeah.
if you keep with the
Yeah.
process, yeah, you might have one or two misses, but I mean, your percentage is going to be a lot higher than if you just kick random pot shots.